So welcome back, everybody, and welcome back to day number 7. Thank you all very, very much for sticking with us so far. Wow, it's incredible. We're at day 7 already. Now, you remember what I promised you in today's video was a recap, a breakdown of what has gone on before us. Now, if you remember, in day number 1, what we did was we introduced you to this high-calibre, this 8-step, this complete ad or post to sale framework. In other words, how to craft a brilliant offer, how to craft an offer with irresistible intrigue, how to craft an outstanding offer. Now, the central premise of this was a problem-solving video. Now, what I promised you was an example. Now, an example not from me, but from one of my clients. So this client is a sworn translator coach. So in other words, somebody who helps their clients to get satisfaction from a certified document so that they can present it to the courts. So what she does is she operates from the languages of English to Polish and from Polish to English. Now, let's examine if there is a different way of solving this problem and making the people more problem aware. And what you're going to understand is the format is very simple because there are just 3 steps to this. There are the problem that they're facing, that all of the people in her niche are facing. Then there's this solution. So where we come along and we propose this solution to them, they're through our way, I suppose. And then finally, we deal with the outcomes. In other words, the transformational benefits. Because remember, people, features tell, but benefits sell. You remember what Steve Jobs taught us way back in the early noughties. So what I want to do now is I want to share my screen with you, and I want to let's get into it and let's see this problem-solving example, which I'm 99.9% sure will help to consolidate all of the teachings from days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the name of this solution is dot by dot. Now, what are the problems that they're trying to solve? I love this image. Problem solving for sworn translators. The problem is this. Almost all sworn translators that I've met over my, 23, almost 24 years of living in Poland, in this beautiful country, in the middle of Europe, Central Europe. Almost all sworn translators in Poland, they're the people that I've met, the people that I've experienced, the people that I've worked with, they're constantly facing this same problem time and time again. What they're trying to do, essentially, is with the best will, with the best intention in the world, what I see is that they are constantly reinventing the wheel, constantly. And you see, what they're doing there essentially is they're trading their time for dollars or euros or British pounds or zloty, as is the currency here in Poland, by reinventing this wheel. And my advice to them all, to all of you sworn translators out there, is simply, please stop reinventing the wheel. Okay, so let's think now for a second. Let's put our heads together and let's imagine that there is a solution. There's a solution where all of these wonderful, these qualified, these are like extremely well qualified people. They've brought their language skills to a top level. But is there a solution where they can potentially start to work smarter and not harder? So before I present you with the solution, what I want to do is I want to explain to you a real life story. And this story has happened not once, not twice, but quite often. And the situation was this. I was waiting, let's say, in extreme dire need of this sworn translator. And their time was limited because there were 2 documents in the queue before that this sworn translator could spend time with me and with my problems. So anyway, I was sort of like looking, and I thought to myself, well, anyway, before I begin, it's very important to mention that an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, what do you call it in Polish? Document ufności or something like that. And this had been signed there so that all of the personal data was protected. So all of the personal data was removed. I'm going to show you how that can be done in a few moments. But all of the personal data was removed. So what we were doing was just focusing on the template. Now, the sworn translator in question was sitting there with two P60 end-of-year certificates. These are from the United Kingdom, and these are tax certificates associated with their paying of tax. So, of course, you know, very confidential, very private data. But the template itself is in the public domain. This is not private knowledge. Everybody has to do it who is a tax-paying resident in the United Kingdom. Okay, everybody has to do it. It's the law. So the template itself, without the data, is not confidential. Yeah, you know, anybody can get it from anywhere, because believe you me, the British government and the current Prime Minister, Mr. Rishi Sunak, is very glad of your tax dollars, your tax pounds, your tax zloty, whatever. But anyway, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring these people in. Okay, we're trying to bring these people in. So we're looking at these templates. Now, I was asking this sworn translator, well, how long will it be there until you've finished these two documents? And she replied back to me and said, well, I've got two documents. There are two documents there to be translated. And there, I think there, by looking at it, it's going to take me about 2.5 to 3 hours. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second, I'm going to be waiting for 2.5 to 3 hours? Come on, let's see, is there a way that we can speed this up somehow? So anyway, I'm looking at the documents. And I said, let me see them, please, for a second. I'm looking, one of them was for the end of year, I think, let's say 2020 to 2021. And then the next one was from 2021 to 2022. Now, both documents, from a naive perspective, from my perspective as a human being and not a machine, was that they both looked identical. They both looked identical. So you see, then what I'm trying to think is there, hold on a second. Why are you trying to reinvent the wheel here? Why are you trying to retranslate the same document? No, I'm not. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to build out a template, and then I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to go into the second document, and then I'm going to try to analyze the changes. And, you know, we had a look at the documents, and I found 3 changes. No, I think I found 2. I found 2 changes there between one document to the other. I thought 2 changes, not bad. But of course, this lady is a professional. So this lady was able to find 3 changes. But then I thought to myself, hold on, I had like one of these Eureka, Homer Simpson moments, you know, where he slaps his bald head. She doesn't have a bald head, but I have a bald head, and I slapped it. And I go, no, okay, I know. Why don't we ask the AI? Why don't we ask our good friends, our good old friends at ChatGPT, etc., there with a properly structured query to analyze these documents and then to compare and contrast? Let's say in artificial intelligence terms, what we're asking it to do is to play a very high level, spot the difference competition. And you put it in, so you scan both the documents, you with Upload PDF or any one of those apps. So you take a scan, take another scan of the other document, and then you upload both of them to an AI tool. Not ChatGPT, but there were some other ones that we use. And the AI was able to find, where I was only able to find 2, where this lady was able to find 3, the AI was able to find about 5 differences. 5 very subtle but important differences between one of these end-of-year tax certificates and the next year. Now, that was a very important lesson, because how long did it take the AI to do this? Well, once we'd taken these, we put it up to the AI, and the AI brought us back a result in a few seconds, let's say maybe about 10 seconds. That was able to compare, contrast, and then to look at this. And then all of a sudden, then we thought to ourselves, my goodness, how much time has that just saved us? And for these, I can't even call them complete sentences. There were like groups of, 3 words, 4 words, 2 words. I said, how long would it take you to translate them? Translate them? I've already done it in my head. Okay, how long to put it onto the computer? Don't know, maybe about 2 minutes, less. So anyway, it's that time. Tick, 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 tick. These 4 to 5 short phrases. I'll show you in a moment what I mean there, because I've got the examples on the screen. Of course, with the sample data removed, the real data, the personal data removed. Okay, because that's very, very important. Confidentiality is key. And what we did was we had a look at those things and then thought to ourselves, my goodness. Now then, let's think backwards for a second, and let's think that this lady has been in the sworn translation business for 20-something years. So then, whenever you think back those 20 years, every year there's a directory produced of all of these certified translations, because they all have to be numbered. They have to be numbered chronologically, and then the type of translation that it's been. So maybe it was a marriage certificate, maybe it was a birth certificate, maybe it was a driver's license, maybe it was a tax document, maybe it was what did they call them in the United States, an apostille document, maybe it was an insurance certificate, maybe it was insurance history certificate, whatever it was. That is very valuable data, because those documents have all been signed, sealed with the company stamp, and approved. So they've all been sent off to the Polish ministry, and then the Polish ministry are aware that this was translated by a sworn translator with the sworn translator ID number. So it's all very official and above board. Now then, let's walk through the solution, shall we? So the solution, first of all, as I've said there in that little monologue, let's say, was the first thing that we do is we ask, we demand, because it's very important to protect confidentiality. So we sign an NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement, with the sworn translator. And then the next thing that the sworn translator will do is that they will take a scan, or maybe send us on WhatsApp, or maybe send it an email, or upload it to Google Drive or to iCloud or to wherever. So anyway, then we've got an electronic version of the document. The AI tool that we use, that we've refined and honed and crafted, there will then analyze the document. Yeah. Now let's say that this is the document. Now it's very important to add that this is sample data. This is dummy data. So there's no such person as, hopefully, as Joe Joseph blogs. And I'm just using this sample data just to give you an idea. So anyway, they've got their name, they've got their surname, they've got their national insurance number, their works, their payroll, and let's say then those are the amounts of money that they paid. As I said, once again, this is sample dummy data, okay? Now, the first thing that the AI does is it identifies all of the personal data. Then the next thing that it does is it strips away all of the personal data. So in other words, what you have now got is you've got a template. Because remember that if you go to the British government's website, to the HMRC or whatever it's called, then what you will be able to do is you'll be able to download the current document and the documents there from, let's say, from the 1 or 2 previous years. But let's say if somebody's coming to you with documents from 2005, 2006, 2007, perhaps there is a Polish individual when they were working in the United Kingdom. So then they're coming back with these historical documents, and then all of a sudden they need them to be translated. So all of what you're doing then is you're looking at these document templates in a different way, because they are now templates. And this, you see, is where the magic can really, really start to happen. Because what the database will do, the database there that we've got, remember, only templates, no personal data. There, it will search for a matching document template. perhaps with an exact match, perhaps with an almost exact match, like what this lady was doing. And then all of a sudden, then you're thinking there to yourself, hold on a second, this is already 99.999% sure that this has already been translated by a sworn translator in Poland, because Poland is a very international country. There are people from Poland, just like from other countries, go to countries like the English-speaking countries, for example, the United States, to Canada, to the islands, what I call the United Kingdom and Ireland. There are to other English-speaking countries like Australia, New Zealand, and to other countries, for example, Nigeria, there are Kenya, etc. There are some of the African states, South Africa, RSA, etc. Okay, so these are where the documents have already been translated. Now let's examine there, because what we have found is that there are 3 potential scenarios. Now listen carefully, because number 3 might be kind of interesting to you. There is scenario number 1. This is where an exact 100% match is found. So in other words, let's say this is the P60 certificate for the end of year from 2020 until 2021, because in the United Kingdom, apparently their tax year ends on the 5th of April each year. Okay, so then let's say they're the benefits. This could be the outcome for you. So where you pay for a number of credits, and then you get a number of credits. 1 credit equals 1 document. And then what will happen next is that the system will email you one of these documents. So it will deduct the balance from your credits, and then you can get this document in whatever format you want. You can even get it in all 3 formats if you want. And those 3 formats are Google Docs, Microsoft Word, and OpenOffice. Okay, so that in other words, the translator within a few minutes is able to start. They've got the document. The document is in editable machine format, so that they can sit down with their MacBook Pro or with their laptop or with their desktop, PC, whatever, and then they can start editing and adding the personal data. So you remember the personal data, like those, that was dummy data, of course. So they start adding blogs, surname, first name, 4 names, Joe, Joseph. Of course, this was just sample dummy data. And then they put it into the document. And then all of a sudden, within a few minutes, they have translated this document for their client. And remember, the document template has already been approved, certified, signed, sealed, delivered before. So what they're doing is they're not reinventing the wheel. They are just making use of a templated solution. And all of a sudden, within a few minutes, boom, they've got something, which they can then, of course, charge regular price for their customer, because they have done this job. They have completed this assignment of translating this template plus the personal data. Not much, is it? It's very, very simple. Now, scenario number 2. Let's say this is perhaps where you've got like a solution that is 97% similar. Yeah. And I'll show you what I mean here. Yeah. So this is 2 of the documents. They're from 1 year to the next. And now what they did was that they changed the document ever so slightly. They changed it from memory. They changed it from inland revenue. So in other words, in Polish terms, this is what we call urgent skarbowe. And then where the United Kingdom is concerned, they've got this big thing that they call HMRC, which is the urgent celne, oddział urgent skarbowy. Okay, and that's the way it is for them. But there are a few different documents. There are a few differences between this. There is the sudden appearance of this one at number 4, where it says, do not destroy. It's very important not to destroy all of these tax documents. And then there is also this one where the document reference, there obviously changes from 2020 to 2021, 2021 to 2022, etc. But there was also this other edition of the shared parental pay. Though it is very nice, but you see, the AI was able to identify this in a few seconds, in a few short seconds. So what it does is it takes the guesswork out of the sworn translator, because of course the sworn translator is very critical, very analytical. But it takes time to scan that document up and down, to scan that document up and down. Compared to a machine doing this, the machine never gets tired. The machine never gets tired eyes or sore eyes. The machine is able to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365.25 days per year. Never takes a holiday, never takes a sick break, never gets a headache. It just works, and it works all the time. And all of a sudden then, you see, then what we can have is we can have something where we've got this. So you're emailed a similar document in this scenario. You're emailed a similar document with the changes identified and highlighted by the AI. So just like what I showed you there a few screens ago. And then you can edit this document to include those translated sentences. And then you simply send it back to us. And then this is where the rubber meets the road, as we say in Ireland, because this is your chance to earn. Because if you've got the first instance, of, let's say, of that P60, 20 to 21, then you've got the chance to earn from our platform. So in other words, any time that the person is coming along and the person, the future translator, they're looking for a P60, not from 2006 or 2007 or 2008, but they're looking for one specifically from the year 2020 to 2021. And then all of a sudden, the system has got an exact match, and that was translated by the sworn translator, and let's say her name was Maria, and then Maria will get credited for that. And then Maria will earn some income from that. And that's Maria's chance to earn, being the first person who has uploaded that specific document. Perhaps there are other instances of that document, but the first specific instance of that particular document to the platform. And then you see there, scenario 3, no document found. And quite often this can be because the document has got a different name, or there was a different spelling. For example, I've seen some of these apostille documents, and I've seen some of them spelt different ways. So in which case, if this document does not exist on our server, then what you do is you upload your certified translated document template. So in other words, without the personal data, to the dot by dot platform. And then the future sworn translators can come along and they'll be able to download. And whenever they do, what you will receive is you will receive from us an affiliate tracking link. And what this does is this monitors every single download of your translated document template. This is the important word, template. And then it will tell you how much that you have earned from that document template. And then, of course, you'll have a contract with us so that every so many days, then we release that money to your account. So you get a chance to earn. So this is like what we call a win-win scenario for both the sworn translator and for us. So can you imagine there for a second, can you imagine how much time you're going to save as our database grows bigger and bigger? And remember, because we're using AI, artificial intelligence, this database is growing at a rate of minutes. Not hours, not days, not weeks, months, years, whatever, but minutes. So can you imagine there that the AI is constantly working to get better, to get better, to get better? And it's frightening. Yes, it is frightening. But the really good news is, it doesn't matter what you use in Google Translate, Deep Purple, whatever, any one of those things. The really good news is that we're still about probably 5 to 10 years away. 5 to 10 years away. They're from the machine translation being at such a level where it's going to be able to interpret the nuances that a sworn translator, that a certified translator can do. So then the imperative thing is that we, for the moment, for the next 5, 10 years, that we try to make as much money as possible while the sun shines. So in other words, make hay while the sun shines. Okay, and that's a very important thing. And the coming soon, this is really important, because at the moment we're only taking care of these things simply because there's so much of them. There are so many of them, you know, from all of the English-speaking countries, from North America, from the islands, UK and Ireland, from the Antipodes, they're Australia, New Zealand. There are a lot of documents from Kenya, from Nigeria, from RSA, from all of those countries. They're even from countries that are like India and Sri Lanka, where the documents are in their language, but also in English, because it's almost taboo for one caste in India to speak the language of another caste. So it's frowned upon. So in other words, the language is always maybe it's in Hindi and English, Gujarati and English, all of those different things, Sinhalese and English. And this is what you will find time and time again. But it's a different type of English. But anyway, this was the main crux of the matter, to start with the number one language there, which is obviously, in terms of the internet anyway, English. And then afterwards, then to focus very quickly on the very popular languages, especially in Poland. And they are, of course, the Ukrainian, Russian, German, Spanish, French, Italian, and there are quite a lot of the other European languages. But as it goes on there, as this formula proves itself, it's going to gather a lot of momentum, and it's going to be pushed out there. So in other words, this at the moment, this is a unique opportunity to you, the sworn translator. And then to get in at the start, before prices start to rise, because you all see it, like the prices of server costs, Google costs, advertising costs, AI costs, etc. They're rising, and they're rising exponentially. So this is your chance to get in at the ground level, and then to start uploading your templates, to sign those NDA agreements with us. And then what we can do is start working together as professional sworn translators from one to the other, and produce this very important network before machine translation catches up with us. Because once the machine translation catches up with us, then the scenario is there that these people are going to lose out. So this is the chance to get in now, while it's really important. Okay? So if you'd like more information, all you have to do, quite simply, is click on the link at the top of the comments below. Okay? And you'll see the offer. So this has been it. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye-bye.